What's up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, there's a waterfall over there that I'm, near, but I'm walking back from it now. I was on a nice walk to get there, which is always fun. But yeah, I'm flipping the Alien right now. Very much enjoying myself, as always, with this bad boy. But I wanted to talk a little bit about an interesting topic that I think is kind of neat to consider, which is, are Balisongs skill toys? And my proposed answer to this question, just to give you it right off the bat, is yes, Balisongs are, in fact, skill toys. And there's a number of reasons behind this, but I think that this issue of Balisongs and their nature correlates very heavily to the fact that Balisong people at a show like Blade Show have a very distinct difference between them and the other people attending the show. You see, Balisongs are skill toys in a way, because the thing that people like about them is the flippability aspect. They like the ability to perform tricks and do sorts of fun stuff like that. And so the fact that Balisongs are used for the tricks more so than their actual utility as a knife is exemplified by the existence of trainer Balisongs. There's a number of people who only flip trainers. In fact, when I first got into the Balisong community, I did so almost exclusively flipping trainers. And of course, I eventually learned to flip live blades, and I, got around doing that, and now I flip a ton of live blades, and that's actually primarily what I flip. But you can learn many ways, and you can approach, being a flipper in an infinite number of ways. And I think that's what's so cool about the community. But yeah, so that's something that I thought was kind of neat, is that due to the existence of trainers, you can immediately see that the thing that is important to most flippers, I would say, is not necessarily that the item itself is a knife, right? That's part of it. It has utility as a knife, but the fact that it is a knife isn't necessarily the thing that's bringing people to Balisongs en masse, at least in the ways that we've seen recently, with more and more people becoming interested in the hobby. Instead, I think the thing that has people interested is the tricks, the performance factor, the entertainment that you can gather from flipping a Balisong. I think that there's a lot there. And so, because of that, that has become the main thing that draws people in, is the flipping aspect. And that aspect has very little to do with the knife part. And so, what that has led to is, at a show like Blade Show, if you ever attend, or even if you watch my videos, it might be relatively obvious that there is a large divide between the types of people at the Balisong booths, like Squid Industries and stuff like that, and the types of people that are there at the show in general. In general, you have a lot of collectors at the show trying to get various knives and add to their collections and stuff like that, whereas over at the Balisong booth, you have a lot of Balisong people that are all flipping. And specifically, one thing you'll notice is that at the show, primarily speaking, it's a lot of old white men. You'll find a lot of, older white dudes around just hanging out with their prissy knife collections that they're very proud of. Whereas over at the Balisong booth, you'll find a lot of younger people, or a lot of people that are very interested in the Balisong hobby, that are, younger, or gender not affirming, or people in the LGBT space, which are honestly kind of absent in the community as a whole. Or, sorry, not in the community as a whole, but in the knife, collecting community as a whole. The people between the two hobbies are vastly different, and yet we go to the same show. And so what that ends up with is the Balisong people end up being kind of a nuisance at Blade Show, because we're there to express different values. We're not there to necessarily collect knives. We are there to flip and collect Balisongs specifically. I've found almost most Balisong people aren't actually that into knives. Sure, there is a subset of the Balisong community that is people that are both into regular Balisongs and folders or fixed blades or something like that. But a large majority, from my experience, are mostly just into Balisongs, and that I find super interesting. And I think that the fact that Balisong's draw is not related to the fact that it is a knife, but the fact that of what you can do with it is what actually draws people in. And I think that's what leads to the community being a much more inclusive community than something like just the knife collection hobby, right? And so something interesting that happens then is the psyche of the people that are in the Balisong hobby is much more similar to that of the people that go to raves and do stuff like flow staff, or the people that are into yo-yos or kendamas, or people that do gloving or dancers. All of these different arts that either require bodily movement or learning to do a various skill or craft. Things that are often referred to as skill toys or flow arts. I have found that Balisong people have much more in common with the people that are interested in skill toys and flow arts than they do with people that are interested in knives outright. I believe that the Balisong community and the flow art community are basically one and the same. They're interconnected in ways that, you know, I think people don't really think about that often. Something interesting to consider is that, you know, many flow arts exist based off of weaponry. Flow staff is based off of the staff. Poi are based off of a flail mechanic. Kendama has its roots in weaponry, and there's also the stories about yo-yos as though yo-yos were weapons. I believe those are just myths, but like, you know, many things have their roots in weaponry. And also, risk is not something adverse to the flow art community. Juggling with things like fire and chainsaws is a normal thing that happens in, you know, flow arts. And so Balisong being done with a live blade isn't necessarily something that doesn't match with the flow art or skill toy community just because it's kind of dangerous. You know, a Balisong doesn't have to be a trainer to be a skill toy. A dangerous thing can be a skill toy. It's just a different like method.
Well, you look foul with that knife,
Hey,
man.
thank you very much. I've had a lot of practice.
Thanks, you ain't playing with that thing, bro.
It takes a lot of time, but it's a lot of fun.
It look funny as shit.
I'm recording a video right now for I have a YouTube channel, but I'm talking about how they're knives, which is like scary, but actually they're closer to skill toys than they are to like, you know, this is just fun. Like people have like regular knives or whatever, and I don't care about a regular knife, but like this is great.
Yeah, that's funny shit.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah. Stay blessed, buddy.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
What's the name of your channel, bro?
Will Hirsch, it's my name.
Hirsch.
Yeah, Will Hirsch. If you look up like a butterfly knife on YouTube, you might find it. I'm actually making one. It's coming out recently. My sibling over there has it, but it's a trainer version, so it's not sharp at all.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like $50 on Amazon, and it's something that you can like learn on. So if you wanted to learn to do this, that's it right there. Yeah. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Have a good day, man. But yeah, that kind of stuff is exactly what I'm talking about when it's like Balisongs are just cool, you know, they're interesting to people because of what you can do with them. It's not like, you know, knives in of themselves have an intimidation factor that is like crazy, whereas Balisongs, they're intimidating, sure, but when you see somebody doing flow arts like this, it's more like, oh, whoa, that's crazy, like that's amazing. And that reaction, I think, is what captivates a different audience in the Balisong community than it does in the knife community. So yeah, I think that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think Balisongs definitely are skill toys because they're just much more interesting than a knife ever could be, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Oh wait, look. There's a beautiful waterfall in the distance, by the way. It's like really small. I think that's it, but like, that's pretty sick. All right, bye.